Can I 100% The Last of Us in a single sitting?
That's funny.
That is funny.
No sleep, no unnecessary stretches or leaving my desk, and no skipping cutscenes. The full Last of Us Part 1 experience with me, Joel, Ellie, beating on Infected, and earning all of the 29 trophies in the game. Again, all in a single sitting. Given that this was going to take me several hours to complete, I decided that I'd bring my Twitch chat along to keep me motivated and company throughout the process, and also had this convenient timer and death counter to keep track of, well, how many times I died. There's death number 6. It's been a while, as well as how long I'd been playing the game up to a certain point. Now, you would think, considering I had decided to do this challenge, that I'd be somewhat prepared for it. You know, maybe have a guide so that I knew where all the collectibles were, all the artifacts, the Firefly pendants that I'm going to need for the 100%. Maybe, you know, start stream extra early. Maybe as soon as I wake up to make sure that I'm as awake for as long as possible throughout the stream and throughout the day. But no, I did none of that. In fact, from the start until about the midpoint of the game, I had zero guide that I was following. And also, I decided that it'd be a good idea to start streaming at around 1:30 in the afternoon, after I'd been awake since about 7 a.m. So, I definitely did not give this challenge the respect that it deserved. Thankfully, I'd actually got the platinum for this game a couple of years ago, so there were certain things that I remembered, but even still, because I had chosen to go without a guide, some cleanup would be needed. But we cracked on with the story, joined up with Tess, went hunting for Robert, and earned our first trophy of the game. There it is! Find the Firefly pendant. Okay, it's working. And then headed to the Capitol building with Ellie. To be honest, this first few hours was as expected. I died once in the museum section. First death. But to be honest, it was pretty smooth sailing all the way up to Bill's town. When we met up with Bill, we went to his hideout and picked up the training manual to earn our second achievement of the game. Shiv's upgraded. And then after a death in the cemetery, as well as a few more to the bloater in the school, we met up with Frank.
Don't you bring Tess into this. Shove it right up. Nothing to do with... Jesus.
And I'm actually shocked that I remembered to do this, but there's actually an achievement tied to picking up Frank's note after Bill tosses it to the side. In memoriam, pick up Frank's note after it's discarded. Nice. Can't believe that this pea-brained guy was actually able to remember that from 2 years ago. And then we're on to Pittsburgh. And honestly, at this point, I was over 4 hours in, but I felt fine. I mean, a standard stream for me is about 4 hours, so it wasn't really anything out of the ordinary at this point. Hey, find a comic. Unfortunately, it doesn't quite stay that way. It was also in Pittsburgh that I realized something. If I had any chance of completing this game 100% in a single stream, then I would have to use a guide. I had a suspicion that I had already missed quite a few collectibles in the first few chapters of the game, a suspicion that would later be proved to be correct, and I could not afford to spend 10 hours on the cleanup. If I had any hope of doing this in a single stream, I needed to keep it as tight as possible. So at the start of Pittsburgh, I opened up a guide and had it open next to me. It didn't mean that I was perfect in referencing it though. I think I f***ed this up, by the way. I absolutely have f***ed up. So back to the story. We met up with Henry and Sam, and then we earned the achievement Geared Up for crafting every item, Lights Out for turning off the spotlight generator in Pittsburgh, combat ready for fully upgrading a weapon, and then finally sticky fingers for opening all the safes. Honestly, I have no idea how I didn't miss a safe in the levels that I wasn't using a guide for. And then after Henry and Sam left us, we headed to Tommy's Dam and earned a few more achievements. No.
Really? Just gonna leave me hanging?
Afraid so. Berkeley's so adorable.
That's Buckley.
Hey! Upgrade and then break one of every melee weapon. And then after one of the best cutscenes in gaming history, it was time for the university section, which we made it through completely fine. Well, other than Joel taking a tumble, of course. Oh, that's never nice. And so, as we neared 10 hours, we were on to Ellie's section of the game. And I'm not gonna lie, it was in this section that I started to really feel tired. At this point, it was about 11:30, between 11:30 and midnight, I was doing this section of the game. And it was really starting to feel uncomfortable to keep playing the game. I wasn't actively falling asleep. You know, I wasn't that tired, but it definitely felt like my body was saying, okay, this is enough now. Can we relax before we go to bed? But my brain was saying no. What also helped is that I had the chat there to keep me distracted as we debated what The Last of Us Part 1 did so well compared to The Last of Us Part 2, and also discussed Season 2 of the show that was releasing as I was playing through this game. It's not her fault per se, but she must have known that when she took the role, and the internet is cruel at the best of times. Yeah, I know, and I do think it's unnecessary. In the second game, Ellie is a brutal murderer. And you look at Bella Ramsey, and you do not think brutal murderer, you know what I'm saying? It's hard to believe. Honestly, if I didn't have the chat there to distract me through it, this would have been a lot tougher. After escaping David, we made our way towards the hospital, having that iconic scene with those giraffes. That is so sick, man. That is gorgeous. And of course, continuing to debate the second game versus the first game. See, this is another thing that I don't like about part 2. With part 2, the game has it's so depressing. And part 1 has its depressing moments, but then there are moments like this where it's just so much chiller. You hang out with some giraffes. Joel is forgiving Ellie, or Ellie's, you know, reaching out to Joel, and it's so much more positive. And then in the second one, the whole game is just a barrage of negativity. It never ends, man. It's one horrific moment onto the next. Sharpest tool in the shed. Find all workbench tools. Nice. We then earned 3 more achievements before reaching the iconic scene that sets up the events of the second game.
No! Fucking animal!
Carrie, shut the hell up.
Ellie and Joel headed back to Jackson. We picked up the final comic needed for the achievement. And we completed the game.
Okay.
What a game! 12 hours and 18 minutes to complete the game. But of course, I still wasn't finished. Far from it, actually. Now it was time for the cleanup. And this is where I really started to regret not using a guide earlier on. A few things, because I didn't collect everything. Did I miss anything towards the end? Apparently at the Firefly lab, I missed an artifact. That's great. So I'm going to have to replay that. Got everything there. Missed an optional conversation here. Missed an optional conversation here. And some artifacts. Missed some artifacts and loads of Firefly pendants, apparently. At this point, it was 2 in the morning. As you can see, I had been going for near enough 12.5 hours. I was knackered and I was ready for bed. But I persevered and replayed the old missions where I'd missed stuff, following the guide, making sure I didn't miss anything else.
Would you play this before?
No.
Even though I'm starting to get tired now and I had to sleep earlier.
Everything about this game.
Yeah.
Apparently,
Earning the achievements, look for the light, and waterlogged. And by the time I'd finished all of the cleanup, I was over 14 hours deep. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. Yes! And I wasn't especially happy when I did a quick Google search to find out how long it takes to complete the Left Behind DLC, which is the final thing we need to do. Oh my god. It takes between 2 to 3 hours to complete. Oh my. I'm going to be going till 6 a.m. Yeah, I'm following a guide. I'm following a guide to within an inch of my life. I think it's fair to say that at this point, I was broken. I had been up for over 21 hours at this point. 14 and a bit hours had been spent playing this game. I wanted nothing more than to crawl up into a ball and either cry or fall asleep, to be honest with you. But I had to force myself to keep going. And that was made even harder when I tried to play Left Behind and the whole game crashed. What's happening? My whole computer died. Am I live? Am I live? Okay, let's try that again. That crash wasn't just annoying because it wasted more time. That crash was annoying also because it turns out it took the software that I used to show my achievements with it. I find the Steam achievements pop up like super boring. So I have this software that makes it more like the PlayStation and Xbox ones. That stopped working after the crash, which meant when I earned my first achievement of Left Behind, it didn't pop up. Game?
Ellie, let's do this.
I won. What? Did I get it? Oh, I did get it. It just didn't pop. There you go. After winning the brick throwing contest, we then had to survive all of Ellie's jokes to earn another achievement. Emphasis on the word survive.
Terry.
How many are there?
Gene.
This is insane. Thank you.
Hey, thanks for getting me this.
You're welcome.
Survive all of Ellie's jokes. I got it. Just a few minutes later, we earned the achievement Getting to Know You for engaging in all the optional conversations across the main game and this DLC. Then it was time for the arcade, so we played the Jack X game in order to earn the achievement Nobody's Perfect. We then had to do some mental gymnastics in order to earn the achievement Angel Knives, which you get for defeating Black Fang without getting a hit. Essentially, you've just got to do what the game tells you, but under a strict time limit. Somehow, I managed to do it first time, and honest to God, I couldn't tell you how. We then beat Riley in a water gun fight, found the final artifact in order to earn Chronicles, and then earned the achievement Live Bait. And then finally, with the sun peeking through my windows, I completed the Left Behind DLC. It's over. Five 56 a.m. Over 16 hours. I'm going to bed. So yeah, I did it. I probably took a few years off my life in the process, but I managed to 100% The Last of Us Part 1 in a single sitting. Would I recommend it? Absolutely not. It was a fun challenge to do, but yeah, enjoy your games. Take your time with them. When your body says stop, stop. It's, you know, it was a bit of fun for a stream in this video. But I think I'm gonna do it again. I didn't set myself up right for this stream, and I feel like I've got a point to prove, because, I mean, I was broken at the end of that, and with all due respect, 16 hours, a man shouldn't look like this after 16 hours of gaming. That is insane. So I feel like I've got a point to prove. So if this video reaches 50 likes, which is quite a bit lot for this channel, if it reaches 50 likes, I will do another stream where I complete, not 100%, okay, do not get it in your head, I will not 100%, but I will complete The Last of Us Part 2 in a single stream. That is a 25-hour to 30-hour game. I will complete it in a single stream. Tell you what, I'll even do it on hard, okay? I won't go for the 100%, because that takes like 60 hours. If you enjoyed this, and you want to see me do Last of Us Part 2 on stream, make sure to like the video and subscribe if you haven't already. And also, YouTube thinks you'll enjoy this video, so why not go check that one out next? Thanks very much for watching.